Hey football fans! You're watching Football Time, and we're back with the hottest and freshest transfer market news just for you. It's official, Xabi Alonso is the new Real Madrid manager. A club legend returns, and a new era begins at the Bernabeu. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich is shifting gears. Eze is now on their radar. A bold and unexpected move from the Germans. Osimhen is edging closer to a move to the Middle East. The money's on the table, but will he stay in Europe? And yes, it's real. Kevin De Bruyne is close to joining Napoli. A surprising twist, but negotiations are well underway. And finally, why does Barcelona need new forwards when they already have Lewandowski and Yamal? We break it down. All the biggest and most exciting updates, coming up in just a few seconds. But before we dive in, don't forget to support the channel. Hit that like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss the latest insider news. Real Madrid officially announces Xabi Alonso as new head coach. Xabi Alonso has signed a 3-year contract with the club. The Spaniard returns to his boyhood team, where he spent the best years of his playing career. 236 matches, 6 trophies, including La Decima, the historic 10th Champions League title. Now, he comes back as one of Europe's most promising coaches. This move felt inevitable. At Bayer Leverkusen, Alonso worked wonders, winning the Bundesliga, the German Cup, the Super Cup, and coming agonizingly close to an immortal treble, stopped only in the Europa League final. In just 2.5 years in Leverkusen, Xabi went from talented newcomer to a master of tactics and psychology. Carlo Ancelotti's departure to manage the Brazil national team opens a new era at Real Madrid. Now, Alonso faces the daunting challenge of restoring the team to the top of European football and reclaiming the La Liga crown from Barcelona, this season's champions. But first things first, Real Madrid will begin their Club World Cup campaign in the US in June, and that will be Alonso's first real test. The pressure is enormous, expectations sky high, but he has everything it takes to rise to the occasion. The legend returns, a new project begins, and perhaps a new dynasty. Xabi Alonso is now at the helm of Real Madrid. Bayern fails in Wirtz chase. Bayern Munich has lost the biggest transfer battle of the summer. Florian Wirtz, Bayer Leverkusen star, is heading to Liverpool. The deal is worth $126 million, with the player set to earn $325,000 per week. This move was a top priority for Bayern, and now the club is in urgent need of a new creative midfielder. New target, Eze. Next on Bayern's radar is Eze from Crystal Palace. The England international has a release clause of $60 million plus $8 million in add-ons, and Bayern is prepared to trigger it. The club already has a good relationship with Palace. They successfully negotiated the signing of Michael Olise last year. However, the London side is reluctant to let Eze go and plans to fight to keep him. Competition exists, but it's not a major threat. Manchester United and Aston Villa are also interested in Eze, but the high asking price might deter them. Bayern, on the other hand, is ready to spend. That budget was originally allocated for Wirtz. Other options on the table. Bayern is also keeping an eye on Rafael Leão from Milan and Kaoru Mitoma from Brighton. The goal is to strengthen the flanks around Harry Kane and reboot the team's attacking setup. Real Madrid is seriously working on bringing back one of its brightest academy products in recent years, Nico Paz. According to Marca, the club is ready to activate the buyback clause and re-sign the player from Italian side Como for $8 million. Nico Paz is a name increasingly resonating in the European press. Under Cesc Fabregas at Como, he had a fantastic season, 35 matches, 6 goals, 9 assists. The Argentine midfielder has showcased maturity, excellent technique, vision, and the ability to create something out of nothing. It's no surprise that Real Madrid doesn't want to lose such a gem. The club's plans are ambitious. If the deal goes through, Nico will join Xabi Alonso's team very soon to participate in the FIFA Club World Cup in the US. It could be the perfect opportunity for the young talent to shine on a big stage, and under a new coach who fully understands the value of a strong midfield. But a return to Madrid is not only a chance, it's also a challenge. Paz has already debuted for the senior team and even scored, but competition for playing time in today's Real Madrid is far tougher than in the cozy environment of Como. This presents a real dilemma for the player and his entourage. Continue steady growth in Italy or take on the challenge of breaking into the starting 11 at one of the world's biggest clubs. At just 20 years old, Nico stands at a crossroads. His return would mark another step in Real Madrid's ongoing rebuild. New names are already on the horizon: Højlund, Carreras, possibly Arnold. The renovation project is in full swing, and Nico could become a key piece of it. The Premier League's new joker, Liam Delap, choosing between Chelsea, Man United, and two more. Liam Delap is quickly becoming one of the hottest names of the summer transfer window. The 22-year-old striker from Ipswich Town is practically worth his weight in gold, thanks to a $30 million release clause, triggered by the club's relegation. He's a prime target for 4 Premier League clubs. And the choice won't be easy. Chelsea, Manchester United, Newcastle, and Everton have all opened talks, with a final decision expected soon. Why the hype? Delap isn't just another prospect. He scored 12 league goals for a modest Ipswich side and is now ready to take the next step. England's U21 squad has already called him up for the Euros in Slovakia, and top clubs are lining up. Chelsea, in particular, are banking on Enzo Maresca, who coached Delap at Manchester City and still calls him a fantastic player. That past connection could prove decisive. But United won't back down. Ruben Amorim is looking to reshape the Red Devils' attack, with a potential exodus of stars looming. Rashford, Sancho, Antony, and even Garnacho could all be on the move. Delap, then, could become a central figure in United's offensive rebuild. For the player himself, the priority is regular playing time and a serious competitive project. Chelsea and Newcastle offer Champions League football, Everton offers stability, and Manchester United offers the grand stage and a rebuild from scratch. The cards are on the table. Now it's Liam's move. Everton plotting shocking transfer. The Toffees want to snatch Liverpool's young star Ben Doak for $30 million. Yes, you heard that right. The 19-year-old Scottish winger, who impressed this season on loan at Middlesbrough in the Championship, has suddenly become a hot property among several Premier League clubs. In 24 matches, he scored 3 goals and provided 7 assists. Unfortunately, his season was cut short due to a hamstring injury. Still, it was enough to attract interest not only from Everton, but also Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Newcastle. But Everton are serious, and if this move goes through, it would mark the first direct transfer between Liverpool and Everton in 23 years. The last time it happened was back in 2002, when Abel Xavier switched from Everton to Liverpool. Before that, it was Nick Barmby. That's it. Such transfers are nearly taboo, a proper Merseyside derby even in the transfer market. Liverpool have already turned down offers. In January, Crystal Palace offered $15 million, Ipswich offered $16 million. But the Reds are firm. It's all $30 million or nothing. Meanwhile, Doak has made just 10 senior appearances for Liverpool since joining from Celtic in 2022. So the question remains, is Arne Slot ready to let such a promising asset leave? A move to Everton wouldn't just be sensational. It could be the transfer bombshell of the summer. But what do you think? Should Liverpool fight to keep Ben Doak, or should they let him flourish across Stanley Park at Goodison? Kevin De Bruyne to Napoli, the end of an era and a new beginning. Kevin De Bruyne is set to leave Manchester City after 10 unforgettable years, and within the next 2 weeks, he will sign a contract with Napoli. This isn't just a transfer, it's the final chapter of one of the most graceful stories in modern football. The symbol of the Pep Guardiola era, the architect of City's greatest triumphs, is now preparing for a new stage in Serie A. De Bruyne will play his farewell match against Fulham, and then it's on to negotiations with Napoli, the reigning champions of Italy. A 2-year deal as a free agent, with enormous symbolic significance. Naples is the city where Kevin got married, a city of passion and football obsession. This story feels like a movie script. Despite offers from MLS and Saudi Arabia, the Belgian made it clear he still wants to play at the highest level. Ironically, he could face his former club in the Champions League as early as next season. And that wouldn't just be a game, it could be a clash of meaning, style, and emotion. Pep Guardiola admitted, Kevin wanted to stay, but the club decided otherwise. Painful words. A statue will be built for him in Manchester, but every fan knows that with KDB's departure, a piece of the team's soul leaves as well. Napoli, who secured the Scudetto in a dramatic season finale, are now seeking a leader on the European stage. De Bruyne brings them not only experience, but also a winning mentality. He describes his strengths as intuition, creativity, and passion, exactly what Napoli needs to rise even higher. The younger Bellingham, on his way to the Bundesliga. Joe Bellingham is about to follow in his older brother's footsteps, and he's already landed in Germany for talks with a Bundesliga club. According to Sky Sports, the 19-year-old Sunderland midfielder is in advanced negotiations with Eintracht Frankfurt. He was accompanied by his parents and greeted at the airport by a club representative, a clear sign that things are serious. After helping Sunderland gain promotion to the Premier League by defeating Sheffield United 2-1 in the playoffs, Job has drawn the attention of scouts across Europe. Yet despite returning to the Premier League, the player is looking to sort out his future right now. The Bundesliga is calling, and not just Eintracht is in the race. Borussia Dortmund has sent delegations to England twice, including a visit from CEO Hans-Joachim Watzke. There's also interest from RB Leipzig. Job is under contract with Sunderland until 2028, and the club is demanding around $25 million for the transfer. That's not scaring off potential buyers. This type of midfielder is seen as a long-term investment. He boasts impressive physicality, a strong work rate, and, as club legend Michael Bridges puts it, an aura of intimidation on the pitch. He's a true midfield engine. A move to Germany would mirror the career path of his brother Jude, who started at Birmingham, moved to Dortmund, and now shines at Real Madrid. But Job is not just Jude's brother, he's becoming a personality in his own right. Especially after his on-air jab at Sky Sports analysts, where he made it clear that he's more than just a name on a shirt. In fact, that's why he chose not to wear his surname on the back of his Sunderland kit. So the big question remains, who will convince Job? Will it be Eintracht, with Champions League ambitions? Dortmund, the proven launchpad to stardom? Or will Sunderland manage to keep him and let him prove himself in the Premier League? Premier League shock. Is Victor Osimhen ready to say no to Chelsea and Man United? Well, it looks like one of Europe's most sought-after strikers is slipping away from the hands of England's elite. Victor Osimhen, the driving force who led Napoli to their first Scudetto in 33 years back in 2023, is reportedly close to joining not Manchester United, not Chelsea, not Arsenal, but Saudi Arabia's Al Hilal. Yes, you heard that right. The player, who has been linked to every major club across Europe, from London to Paris, is now in final talks with the Riyadh-based club. According to Sky Sports, the personal terms are virtually agreed. A 3-year deal worth around $15 million per year. That's a wage few can match in Europe. Blessed with a thunderous shot, blistering movement, and lethal finishing, Osimhen scored 25 goals in 29 matches for Galatasaray while on loan, making it clear he belongs on a bigger stage. But instead of turning a new page in the Premier League, it seems he's choosing the Middle Eastern riches. The deal, however, still hinges on approval from the Saudi Ministry of Sport. Without that financial backing, Al Hilal won't be able to activate the $63 million release clause set by Napoli. Ironically, just last summer, John Obi Mikel and Didier Drogba personally urged Victor to join Chelsea. But it seems that no phone call can compete with the sound of coins in the desert. English clubs will now have to search for a new dream striker, as all signs suggest that Osimhen has opted for comfort over challenge. Then again, who knows? This might just be the opening act in the transfer saga of the year. Stay tuned so you don't miss how this story unfolds. In the world of football, everything can flip overnight. Manchester City and Nottingham Forest on the verge of a surprising swap deal. Not bad. as English headlines are already joking. Manchester City and Nottingham Forest may pull off one of the most unexpected swaps of this transfer window. The deal involves Matheus Nunes and Morgan Gibbs-White, two players with different trajectories but similar potential to thrive in a new environment. Matheus Nunes was a $53 million signing for City who never truly became a midfield star. This season, he has mostly featured as a fullback rather than in midfield. Despite his physical prowess and high work rate, Pep Guardiola bluntly said in an interview, "He's not smart enough to play in the center, but he could become a great right-back." Manchester City is now ready to let Nunes go for just $35 million, essentially admitting the move didn't work out. But this step could be a bargaining chip in a much more ambitious deal, bringing in Morgan Gibbs-White. Gibbs-White, on the other hand, had a dream season at Nottingham Forest. 7 goals, 10 assists, and a call-up to the England squad under Thomas Tuchel. Not only did he push Forest forward, he became a true attacking leader. Manchester City sees him as a new creative force in midfield, a flexible player with vision and technique. Financially, the deal looks unbalanced. Forest could demand nearly double what City hopes to recoup for Nunes. But if the Portuguese midfielder is included as part of a swap, the deal becomes more realistic. This isn't just a transfer, it reflects a new phase of City's rebuild. With De Bruyne's departure looming, Pep is clearly looking for fresh blood, players who fit into new tactical schemes and offer more flexibility. Meanwhile, Nottingham would get a player known and valued by Nuno Espirito Santo. Who will come out on top in this deal? Why does Barcelona need more forwards? Here's what's behind the club's transfer strategy. Barcelona wrapped up the season with an emphatic 3-0 win over Athletic Bilbao. Robert Lewandowski scored a brace, Dani Olmo converted a penalty, and coach Hansi Flick faced the press with a wide smile. So why change anything? And yet, changes are coming. The club is seriously considering strengthening its attack, even though it was already one of the most productive in Europe. Just look at the numbers. Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Lamine Yamal combined for 94 goals and 53 assists this season. Phenomenal stats. Lewandowski, at 36, is enjoying his best season in a Barca shirt. Rafinha and Yamal are genuine Ballon d'Or contenders. A dream front three, right? So why is the club showing interest in Luis Diaz and Marcus Rashford? The answer lies in Flick's tactics and the demands of modern football. Barca is competing on 3 fronts, and relying on just one trio all season is too risky. Lewandowski has already missed games due to injury. In crucial matches, against Inter, Real Madrid, in the Cup or Champions League, Flick was left with few attacking options. Yes, Ferran Torres is there, but the coach doesn't fully trust him. And Ansu Fati appears set for another loan spell. Flick wants more flexibility, to use Rafinha as a number 10, where he shined earlier this season, or gradually move Yamal into a central role, preparing him to become the new playmaker. That's where a player like Diaz or Rashford becomes valuable. They can cover the wing and, if needed, play as central strikers. That gives Barca both a backup for Lewandowski and tactical freedom. And of course, age is a factor. Lewandowski is 36, and his contract runs out next summer. Even with his numbers, it's clear Barcelona must think long-term. If there's a chance to sign a top-tier attacker who can contribute now and take on a leading role soon, there's no time to hesitate. Let's not forget Flick's style. High pressing and fast transitions require not just skill, but also physical power. With a deeper squad, he can maintain intensity throughout the season. Barcelona enters another summer facing salary cap concerns and financial limits, but the direction is clear. Bolstering the attack is priority number 1. Get ready, a hot Catalan summer is on the way. That's it for today on Football Time. We've covered the biggest headlines, transfer rumors, and key moves shaking up the football world. But stay tuned. More breaking news, fresh results, and major deals are on the way. Support the channel, like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you're always in the loop. Drop a comment. Which transfer surprised you most? And who do you want at your club next? We're taking a short break, but we'll be back soon with even more transfer action. Until next time,